Plot twist, I'm back. I've been in cryogenic sleep for 9 months and somehow gained subscribers. But thank you so much to all the people who've actually stayed subscribed to the channel. I honestly appreciate it so much. Anyway, while the game I'm reviewing today isn't new by any means, I thought it would be good to start off with a fairly short review and get me back into the flow of things. So definitely expect a lot more reviews in the next few weeks. You don't have to wait 9 months for these ones. So today I'm going to be looking at Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes and what makes this game awesome. Fuck, it feels good to say that again. So, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is a co-op game about defusing a bomb. One player is allowed to see the screen, where they have a randomly generated bomb with a selection of puzzles. The other player has a bomb defusal manual, which is a 23-page booklet describing how to defuse every type of puzzle on the bomb. This may seem simple at first, but the puzzles are designed to be difficult to describe to the player or group of players who can't see the screen, so the time limit before the bomb explodes adds lots of pressure to each round. The booklet's also written in a slightly annoying roundabout fashion that often makes you reread statements and flip quickly through the booklet to find what you need. It also requires the bomb diffuser to look around the bomb for indicators and serial numbers, which can completely change the solution to each puzzle. On each bomb, you have a given number of modules to solve in a time limit. If you can solve all of these, the bomb is defused and you win, and if not, it explodes and you have to retry the round. Each module requires both players to work together to defuse it. For example, these wires need the diffuser to say the order and colour of the wires, and then the reader goes over the manual, and using the very straightforward, not at all annoying to read instructions, they then have to tell you what wires to cut. The game likes to try and fuck you up, with solutions to puzzles being words like what, and red like R-E-D, and red like R-E-A-D, which are often misheard and can cause some really annoying situations. It often requires really good communication between both players, especially when you end up having to navigate mazes and stuff without being able to see them or decrypting Morse code. As you complete more rounds, in a similar way to Surgeon Simulator, the game ramps up the difficulty of each round, requiring you to be able to defuse more modules in the same amount of time, having more complicated explanations for the person reading the manual to have to attempt to explain. It's funny to watch people try and play this game, especially in harder rounds, because it becomes super stressful and difficult to complete, requiring much better teamwork between the two players. For example, the first round has you doing 3 modules in 5 minutes, but as you go on, it may get you to do 6 modules in 5 minutes. And the modules' difficulties will also ramp up over time, so it gets a lot harder very quickly. Various things in the game will also try and distract and annoy you, making you lose focus and lose ever so precious time. For example, randomly, in the middle of a stage, the lights can turn off for a few seconds, testing if you remember the puzzle and frustratingly delaying you if not. There's also an alarm clock on the table that can go off mid-game and will buzz for a minute or two until you turn it off, making you have to stop defusing the bomb to disable the really annoying alarm. Especially in later rounds, this can become super frustrating and difficult to deal with, but it all adds to the game's deliberately stressful experience. Now, while I can't get footage of it, this game also has a VR version. I don't own a Rift or a Vive, and after looking at a lot of footage for both of them, I can say that this game definitely looks better as a VR experience, so if you have one of the headsets, I'd recommend playing it with it. However, from playing it a lot without a headset, I can definitely say that it's a great game without it, and while I'd recommend playing it with it if you can, do not worry that you're going to be missing out if you can. It also comes with a separate mode supporting both Oculus Rift and Steam VR, so I wouldn't worry too much if you have one and you're not quite sure if the game will work with it. The game also has Steam Workshop support, with hundreds and hundreds of custom bomb modules and additions to the game being made by members of the community. This, as always, makes the replay value of the game immensely better, as there will be new mods coming out for this game for years. In fact, there already have been mods coming out for it for years. These include increased difficulty versions of modules that are already in the game, completely custom modules and puzzles that come with their own defusal manual, which you download off their website, and even just alterations to the game's look and sound. I haven't played around too much with these, but from what I've seen, there's definitely a variety of stuff to do, and it's a big part of the game that's worth exploring. There's also a leaderboard shown between all of your Steam friends that own the game, allowing you to compete for the best time for each bomb defusal. This adds an element of competitiveness to it, and I think this was a great thing to do because it gets lots of teams of players to compete, and that's always a good thing. In terms of presentation, this game doesn't stand out a huge amount, but does exactly what it's trying to do. It has a slightly cartoonish look to it, quite similar to Surgeon Simulator, showing more than enough detail to see everything you need to. And while there aren't a ton of graphical options, they let you change resolution and anti-aliasing, which are two really important things to be able to change in a game like this. The frame rate stays at a constant 60 FPS on my PC, and according to the suggested minimum requirements, it'll run fine on almost everyone's PC, or even low-end laptop. The music is quite jazzy in the menus, and then gradually ramps up in intensity as the timer approaches 0, which just further adds to the tension in the game, and makes you more stressed while you're trying to solve the puzzles. I gotta say, when you're playing, this is quite stressful. You kind of wish that the game wasn't doing this because you want to just be able to focus on the puzzle. But it's definitely a good move on the developer's part because it makes the game feel more meaningful. You want to have a feeling of stress, so I think they definitely did the right thing. So in conclusion, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is a really fun and very, very engaging party game. This has been one of my favourite games to play co-op, and I just love the fact that even if I completely ran out of stuff to do in the game by some fucking miracle, I'd just be able to go on the Steam Workshop, download 200 more mods, and then I'd just be able to have a completely different experience. Having the separate manuals that you print out is a really cool way of getting lots of people to play a party game only having one screen and one controller, or keyboard or mouse or whatever the fuck you play with, which is great. Having an amazing base game, controller support and VR support, it's really hard to complain about anything that this game doesn't include, and considering all of this is so well done, it's really hard to actually find a place to fault this game. It's a super good buy, even at regular price at around £10 or $13, but if you get it on a sale like I did, you can end up getting it in a pack where the entire pack of games costs around that much. So if you can get this on a sale, I'd really recommend it, but it's totally worth full price anyway. There are a couple of nitpicks that I have with the game, but they're really, really specific ones. I think that if there was a way of combining the manuals for mods into one big manual, instead of having to print all the separate ones out and then putting them together, that would be really good, like some kind of app or something. And having a table of contents would also be quite useful for the manual, although that may be kind of deliberate. And also having more graphical options is never a bad thing to have more. To be fair, this game doesn't really need that many more, and what it has lets you customize pretty much everything you'd want to anyway. But I definitely think that having more graphical options would be a plan if they were going to change anything about this game. However, these are really nitpicky, and to be honest, I'm not even sure if they count as full bad things about the game. They're just little things that I think if you had to improve something, that's definitely what it would be. To be honest though, this game does pretty much everything pretty perfect. Like, it's not the kind of game that I'd instantly hop to rate super high, but in terms of a good party game that you can play with a lot of people, only one screen and one controller, I can't think of anything that does it better than this. And they've done a really good job in pretty much every category I've spoken about. So with all that taken into consideration, yep, we're starting off with a high one. I'd rate Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes a 9.5 out of 10. As I said, as a party game, it does nearly everything perfectly, and it's not the kind of game that I really want to rush and just give a 10 out of 10, because I definitely think there are a few things they could improve, but it's basically exactly what you'd want. And I think if you bought this game at full price, you would not be disappointed. Hell, you could probably end up paying more for this game and you'd still not be disappointed. It's worth the money, especially if you have a bunch of people to play it with. If you're looking for a party game but you don't have a bunch of free controllers, or you're just looking for something to play co-op for a little bit with your friends, then I can say that this is definitely a game worth looking at. Obviously, I want to know what you guys think about it too, so please let me know all your opinions of it in the comments. I feel like rating it any lower, it seems a bit mean considering it does everything so well, but if any of you can think of a thought of this game that I've missed or I haven't gotten far enough in the game to realize yet, then please go ahead and let me know. Also, if you're gonna roast me for my 9-month upload gap, then now's the time to do it, so, you know, go for it. It's fine, no, go, like, I don't have feelings, it's fine, just... Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, check out my social stuffs on screen now and in the description, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this from the channel. Thank you so much to everyone who stayed with the channel for this ridiculously long amount of time. I promise I won't let it happen again. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next review, so see you there.